Hello and welcome back to Art and Craft Therapy. My name is Deirdre and I'd like to welcome you to this video. Please, before you leave, like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so in the future you'll be notified when I upload a video and or when I go live. Yes, I do plan to do some fun stuff live. When and after I'm all set up in my new location, I'll be using a wider angle. I might do a couple projects on screen, and I do plan to do more flip throughs of the different mini albums, scrapbooking, and junk journal projects that I've finished. I am sharing this video with you because in the first video that I premiered using the Wild and Free paper, I described the different paper sizes and the different paper pads that I used. So I want to go over that. If you are a designer, artist, or crafter who buys paper pads, washi tape, different items like this already, you've had that experience, I welcome you to stay and watch. But if you already know where you buy your supplies, the different sizes, stuff like that, you can click off. Again, I welcome you to stay and watch my videos. I always learn something from someone, even though I know how to cut paper, I know how to punch, I know how to coffee dye, things like that. But I still watch the video in whole because I will always pick a new morsel of information as I watch, and I'll get inspired and I'll write it down. So me personally, I still watch. This video is not going to be that long, but again, you can click off. However, I welcome all new subscribers, new artists, new crafters, new designers, new people to my page here on my channel here on YouTube. Please go over to my Facebook channel and my Instagram and my Twitter. On Twitter, I will probably post links to YouTube. So if you come to YouTube already, you don't really have to do Twitter. On Twitter, I do a lot of retweeting on things that I see that I like and I just want to share. On Instagram, I'll be doing some more of my personal things. On Instagram, Art and Craft Therapy Instagram. Now, all these platforms I have personal under my name accounts, so you don't have to subscribe to both. For instance, I have a Facebook channel for me and a Facebook channel for Art and Craft Therapy. You don't have to subscribe to both if you don't have to. If you do, then great. Usually when someone subscribes to me, I subscribe instantly back to you. Or sometimes when I find you, I'll subscribe to you, and I'm sure you get the same notification, and I'm sure you'll dig around and look for me. So if I were to choose, I would say I would prefer you to subscribe to my Art and Craft Therapy channels only. Again, I welcome you. If I have enough space, for instance, I have 2 Facebook channels, but both of them are full. So there you go. You get to choose. But I will post mostly on YouTube and Instagram. How's that? Again, welcome. Today we're going to talk about paper pads, where you can buy them, why they come in different shapes. Isn't that beautiful? How a designer designed that. See, look at those elements. There's 3 different elements. It's a bouquet, it's the Eiffel Tower, And you can see they have in the background, you know, a couple of design elements. Here, let me come around here. Here. Isn't that pretty? So I'm going to go through each pad. No, I lie. I won't do that. I'll pick one of the Wild and Free pads to look through. And then I'll talk about here. I have some washi tape. Get it in the light there. Remember Miss Erin? Her idea, her inspiration. So I'm going to keep this here. So as I'm making things, that will remind me. I'm going to stuff it in there later to make those. I'll probably sit down. I'll probably cut out some cardstock in that rectangle shape. It almost looks like a bookmark. And then I'm going to sit and wrap about maybe 10. So as I make projects, I'll have 10 ready to go, and I'll just stuff them in just like Erin did as a gift. Cool, right? Okay, so this is not going to be a washi tape, you know, anything. I just wanted to share that with you because I didn't have it out when I was doing my share of my prize. And I'm going to wrap, just like she did. Is that cool or what? Oops, bye-bye. Okay. You can also buy washi tape. These are just elements that someone else has designed that we will use in our own design. So take something someone has already created. I got this off of YouTube. No, I lie. What is my problem? I got this off of Amazon. See the different leaf motifs? Beautiful. So you'll see these. So when you see these, you go, oh wow, that's where she got that idea. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, that you can buy things. If you don't want to buy a leaf stamp, buy this and put it on your paper. Okay, so these I haven't cracked open yet. It still has the plastic on the side. I kind of want to keep them there. I'm just going to talk about shapes. And again, I will choose one paper pad to flip through just so you can get an idea. Again, I'm going to be doing a green fairy garden. This paper is called Nature Garden. I got it at Hobby Lobby. Now, this is good information for any newbies who have never bought a paper pad in your life. Again, on your browsing trips, you know, you'll see all the different collections. The people, the marketing people who packaged this, they are brilliant because they're giving you each and every sheet a little snippet of what each sheet of paper looks like. That's very helpful. Okay. And then here you can see it in smaller. Now I wear glasses, so but don't be afraid to take a magnifying glass. You know, I'm here to help. There is no shame in my game. If you are 85 and you're watching me, welcome, love. Pull that magnifying glass out of your purse and go to Hobby Lobby. Because that's so small, I'm like, I cannot see that. And I pull that sucker out and there it is. There is no shame in Deirdre's game. Okay? And I am going to be doing a sort of a lilac kind of junk journal mini album. I don't know if you guys watch. I love English comedy. I've been watching BBC since I was born. My mom would watch it on PBS, all the drama and whatever show they were premiering, all the old plays, Shakespeare. God, since I was little, we would watch PBS. Well, having said that, fast forward, when I was raising my kids, they had shows on like Rosemary and Thyme, and I think there's another one I love. You know, Inspector Poirot. What's another one? You know, and then they have their funny comedies like Keeping Up Appearances, and then they have As Time Goes By. Well, anyway, when I saw this paper, I said, oh, that just reminds me of an English garden. Isn't that pretty? Now, again, I have to get better at this. I have to shout out who made what. So this is Jody Lee Designs, and it's by Prima Marketing. It's too small, you can't see that. So when you're out there browsing, if you see something that only costs $5.99, this one costs, I don't know, it's probably the same price. They usually range about $5.99. And put it away in your stash. Okay, this is called Lavender. It's by Prima Marketing as well. And on the front, it will tell you, again, here you can see the designs. It will tell you, you know, you get 6 double-sided designs, 5 sheets each. So that's 30, 6 by 6, and then they have centimeters. I did not pay attention in school when they were teaching us the metric system, but I know a bit. I know enough to get myself in trouble. But I think that's helpful when they put it there. When you use these paper pads, keep this sheet. It's okay. Keep this because you can always refer back to what was, you know, what you used. Because it has everything in here. See? And it says paper pad. I took a friend with me. She wanted to make someone a handmade card, and she, you know, bought me a cup of coffee and took me along, and I showed her around. And she was like, what's a paper pad? I mean, that's a valid question. It's a valid question. So when I pointed it out to her, I said, these are paper pads. She says, oh, you know, I would never, like, make fun of her. Like, you don't know what a paper pad. No, she doesn't. She's never crafted a day in her life, but she wanted to try it. So, and she made a beautiful card, you know. Usually it'll have the title. It'll have who made it, the title of the paper pad, because let's just say, let's say Erin calls me. Hi, Erin. And say, hey, Deirdre, I was watching your video. What paper pad did you use? Do you see my point? I'll say, I used Prima Marketing Lavender, the 6 by 6 double-sided paper pad. And she'll say, oh, okay. And she can type that into Amazon and she can buy it. So, you know, that matters. I try not to make things a mystery. That happens in my industry, whether it's film, art, design. A lot of designers or creators in the way back when were so stingy with their information. It's just, I never got it. When I got information, I gave it. I shared. I mean, I'm not trying to profit off of you. I'm not trying to steal from you. I just wanted to know where you got it. And where can I get some? All right. So in my first video, I mentioned to you the different sizes of paper that I use to make our little journal. Remember? Here, let me grab her. I'll put her here. Oops. Hold on for a second. You remember her? Here she is. My other one is gone. Yes. Here she is. She can sit there and watch. Okay. So this one, I just pulled that image up because it's so pretty. Here. Yeah, that looks good. See, this came out of this paper pad. And again, it'll say the size, 3x4 note card, journaling. And then, let me do this. Let me make sure I'm in the shot here. Okay. This is so small, I didn't worry about keeping it together. But you can see there's so many different elements. I'm not going to go through each page. I'm just going to show you. And you know, they come glued, oops, they come glued at the top. There she is, right? Bigger version. So as I'm making my other journals, you guys, you'll see these. You'll see how I pulled from, you know, this paper pad. Okay. This one is the, let me see, the 4x6 note cards. Okay. And same thing. I kind of, you know, there you go. Doesn't want to cooperate with me. I have that on my refrigerator. Just breathe and have faith that everything will work out for the best. It usually does, right? Okay. Oops, look what I found. I bought this from Denise's shop. It's an old library card. And Denise, I want to let you know, I keep every little ribbon. I'll use it. Because I have an idea. Again, you guys, I'm shopping for an antique typewriter. My mom's day job was a secretary. And I always say she was a secretary to the day she transitioned. Because she loved to read, write, create, type, organize papers and files. It's just so special to think about those little moments, just watching her organize her desk. And this reminded me of her because when I was little, there was a library we would always go to. And she would pull out the long drawers of these cards with the Dewey Decimal Systems, and she told me, just look at the cards and read the words. If you have a question, let me know. And that was just her way, of course, keeping her, you know, little girl busy, which was good. That's why my love for words and my love for reading came from. But I would spend, whatever she was doing, you know, looking for a book for herself to read or whatever she was doing, I was over there saving her space, you know, sitting at the table with her purse and looking through these cards and seeing, oh, this book is about porcupines. Oh, wow, it's fiction. You know, that's important to a little girl or a little boy. Is to be a part of what their mom and dad are doing. And then she'd come back and say, well, what did you learn? What is that about? I said, oh, this book is about porcupines. And it's fiction. And look, that's a fun word, friendship, huh? And she, you know, would go back and forth with me. And, okay, time to put it away. You know, and we would, you know, put it back in the drawer. This hole, for anyone who does not know, there was a long bar that kept all these cards together, and that's what that hole is. And you know, you could flip through, flip, and that was my job. And as I got older and I could read more, she would tell me to go find a book on flowers or apples or lemons or tea or shoes. And then I would say, I found 3 books, and she would go, to be honest with you, I don't even know if she went and got the book. And she would go, thank you, and, you know, she would write down the information, and I felt like I was part of my mom's day. I felt important as a little girl. So I'm going to do a project with those. So I wanted to share that. And again, I bought those in Denise's shop. So thanks, Denise, for selling those. This paper pad is 6 by 6. So you get the gist of this. They all look different. Here. There you go. Every sheet looks different. And again, you'll see me go through these as I make things or as I share things. Okay? Again, Wild and Free. That size was the 8 by 8. This is the A4 collection. Frank Garcia, Wild and Free, Prima Marketing. Okay. All right, so this paper pad I wanted to share with you because in my journey to dive back into creating, I am going to be sewing heritage costumes for myself. I am not in the business of sewing for others at the moment. Maybe later on. One of my sheroes, one of my mentors, was a seamstress, and Miss Mary would make things, and she was well in her 80s. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to get back into sewing now, so when that time comes for me, I can sit at my sewing machine and make beautiful things at every age. 90, 91, 92, 93. And that's my goal. So, and when I found this paper, I was online. Again, Amazon.com. You can also find a lot of these, unfortunately, are not being sold in Michael's and Hobby Lobby, because think about it, their business, they stock things, they sell it, and they move on to the next thing. Because these designers, you know, someone was paid to design these. They're on to designing, oops, goodness, I'm so sorry. They're on to designing something else. So when I find something on Amazon that I like, I snatch it up. Because once it's gone, it's gone. And they call that retired. So this is retired. I just found it. I mean, there might be stashes out there where people are still buying them, but Prima is not out there cranking it out. And as you can see, you can't see, but my thumbnail there, 2015. So we're almost at the 2020 mark as far as life on Earth. So, not pretty. Subtle. Charming, subtle, feminine, beautiful. And this paper pad, that's so small I didn't want to show it to you on that one. It's called Debutante. And as you can see up there in the corner, see the dresses, the vintage designs? I thought to myself, that's perfect. So when I make my dresses, I can make a journal. Or if I make something for someone, I can share it with them. So let's do a flip through. And I'm going to open it up. See, I have notes on everything. And then I'm going to take it away. I'm going to actually tear out a piece of paper and show it to you. Okay. So it's that one. Isn't that pretty? Okay. It's this one. Is that gorgeous? Just take a moment. That. Let's see. Some of them are not that interesting. This And what you can do on YouTube, sorry, pardon, is type in paper pad review. And you will find someone has already reviewed this. Or you can type in, what could you, debutante junk journal or debutante mini album, and someone will have made this already, you know, use this paper, and they're sharing with you how they used, you know, each design and what they were making. So on the front, it does say 6 double-sided, 5 sheets each. So I should have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so that's it. But they're double-sided. So technically, look, you have other designs. This took my breath away. Here, let me do this. Let me be still. Remember I told you about my dad's rose garden? Is that beautiful? Oops. This is the other side. Me and my mom loved fans. I have a fan in my purse. So that's just beautiful. Look at the bloomers on there. Is that adorable? I'm going to make a pair of bloomers. So even though I could draw, I could stamp, I could do all kinds of things on my own, someone already did it for me. Someone designed this paper just for me. Adorable. Okay, let's take that one away. And I showed you this one on this side. It's kind of, you know, let me see. Yeah, there's book pages. It's very faint. I'll hold it slow. There's book pages. There's paint on top. You'll see me do that technique. This is what we call gessoing. So there was a book page. You paint it white gesso. Some people use a paintbrush. Some people use a paint knife. They took the white and they, you know, piled it on and let it dry. And then first they used the book page, then they used a piece of paper, then they gessoed it. So we'll use that technique in the future. Let me see. I showed you both sides to that one. Let's show you both sides to this one. Isn't that pretty? Flower bouquets. Remember, guys? My dad's garden. I have a funny story. When I went to, I tried to find a rose somewhere, but I think you'll know what I mean. When you see a rose, it's usually closed, right? It's in that closed rose, you know, shape. And when I was growing up, my dad's roses were always open and fluffy. So when I went to the military and after I graduated, basic training, and then I went to my first base that I was assigned. We went to a restaurant and they had a bouquet on the table, and I was young, so I'm not ashamed to tell the story. I was, 19, first time away from home, living in a different state, just finished, military training. And there were flowers on the table, and I said, "Oh, those are beautiful. What are those?" And everyone looked at me like I was crazy. And they were like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, what is that flower?" And they were like, "That's a rose." I'm like, "That's not a rose." I was used to roses being open and fluffy. I'm sorry. I was a little girl. I'd never seen that. Isn't that beautiful? Now this, I'm definitely going to use this with my Wuthering Heights paper. I keep calling them paper. Book pages that I use as paper. Elements. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that hat in the middle. Maybe we'll try to make that. My mother made my daughter's wedding veil. She made my wedding veil and my daughter's wedding veil. So that definitely reminds me of her. Maybe one day I'll make my granddaughter's wedding veil. So here are some of the vintage clothing illustrations. Is that dress not beautiful or what? That's inspiration. Absolutely. I hear some, did I turn this one over? No, I did not. I hear some people say, oh, it's so hard to cut in. No, not for me. I go for it. I usually save one sheet from each paper pad just to save it. Then I go for it. I cut it all up. See, we can use that in the garden, in our fairy garden, can't we? Because of the green. Isn't that beautiful? So let's flip this. These are Venetian curtains. Is that gorgeous? Sometimes I sit back and I just open the paper pads just like I'm reading a magazine and just look at every little element and get so inspired. I love it. Okay. Last but not least, is that gorgeous? Look at that. Pretty, huh? Trying to be still, sorry. Look at the two up there dancing. I have a dance card project going on too. I'm definitely going to use that for it. Isn't that pretty, you guys? So, go out to Michael's. Go out to Hobby Lobby. Hang out on YouTube. Here, let's do this. This is my favorite in that book. Is that cute? Note cards. I'm not going to go through all of these. I don't want this video to be longer than about 35 minutes. You know, go out to all the different places that sell paper pads and see what you can find, again, on a browsing trip. And you'll see there are different shapes, there are different sizes, there are different textures. This is considered, you can see there is girth there. It's not just a piece of paper. This is considered card stock. You know, your typewriter paper is just, it's paper. And believe it or not, I'm not going to bore you, but paper does have weight and texture. And it brings different dimension and visual elements to your projects. And it's very interesting. Years ago when I worked at the Julia Morgan Theater, I was the executive director, and we were purchasing the brochures and things like that. And that's where I learned about paper weight, thickness of paper, the different sizes. That was interesting. So now I can, you know, I like to glean what I've learned throughout life and use it for my projects and say, hey, I know what that means if I read something or if I see something, and I can use it in my own projects. So thank you again for stopping by. I have 2 more Look What I Use videos that I am going to film, and I probably won't make any more of those until after the holidays, because I'm just going to dive into the wild and free and the holiday projects. And then maybe back in January, I've already decided, in January I'll do my tutorials. I'll do a tutorial on tea dyeing, coffee dyeing, and a couple of elements after I show you my junk journals, mini albums, and greeting cards. So I hope that's fair. Because I don't want to bore you. I don't want you to come back and say, oh, she's talking about something else other than showing her what she made. So again, I'm going to make 2 more videos. One video is going to be about when you buy a book and you remove the paper from it and use the pages for elements. And another, that second video is going to be about just my last stash of elements that I use in my upcycling when I'm making my embellishments. So that's important, because I thought about it. I was like, I don't know, but it is important. As I am sharing my journals that will have already been made, I've decided at the end of those journals, I'll show you the fabric items that I used. Here's an example. Here, I'll share with you, my lace item that I use, my vintage lace supply that I use after I show you what I made with it. So I was like, yeah, that'll make it more interesting. Yeah, I hope you agree. That'll make it more interesting. And if I use a trinket, in an album, then I'll show what trinket I used, if I used a particular type of element. I purchased these from Denise as well. So, because that'll make sense. After I show you how I used something, and then I show you where I got it, or what it looks like outside of the thing. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I so appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by. Again, feel free to leave a comment. Please like and subscribe. Come back, watch my next video. The 1st of September, the first week in September, I will have moved to my new location. So I ask that you give me a week or 2 to get set up in that location. And then I'll come back with my Wild and Free mini album, junk journal, that kind of stuff. And the first week in October, I'll start focusing on the holidays. October, Halloween. First week in November for Thanksgiving, harvest. And the first week in December, all of the Christmas and holiday themes. So, I hope that'll just give you sort of like what's coming. In between those, I might come on and share little things, but that's what I have planned so far. I do have, let me see, no, I don't see it in where I can grab it. I do have a couple of more things that I want to share about what I'm going to be doing. I already told you about my costume designing goals. I guess I could put it in here since, there's a dress. Here's a dress. This is like a dress theme. Debutante, it was all about the dress, right? So that's why I'm going to use that. Isn't that beautiful, that image? Here we go. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm thinking that's the first costume I'm going to make here on my channel. And you're going to actually watch me make that costume, cradle to grave. I don't know. I think I need to change that to another saying, cradle to done. I don't know. But yeah, I watch a lot of YouTubers that are costumers, And I've decided, yeah, I want to make that part of my channel too. And every year during the summer, it just wrapped up, they attend what's called costume college. And in costume college, they actually go there and wear what they made. So I am, as I speak now, 60% committed to doing that. And I'll bring you along. But you'll actually see me make that. So that's for another video for another day. But I wanted to, we're talking about costumes here. So I'll get a picture, I'll get inspiration, I'll design the pattern for it, or find this dress somewhere. If I'm lucky enough, that's out there already, and I'll start making it. Isn't that beautiful? Cool. I always have that picture there in the back. So thanks again for coming back. I appreciate you so much. Please feel free to leave a comment, a suggestion, an idea, a link, or just say hello. Here's my channel. Please, everyone, feel free to plug yourself on my channel. I am A-okay with that. Just go straight down to the comments, put your link in there and say, hi Deirdre, my name or my channel name is this, because I understand a lot of people don't like to give their name away. Say your channel might be Beautiful Victorian Shoes. You can say, hi, this is Beautiful Victorian Shoes. Here's a link to my channel, and let me know how you liked my video. Leave me a ladybug or two. Thank you so much for coming by. Have a good day. And as always, till next time, best regards.